The Korean wave is sweeping across the global village. What is the reason that the world is so enthusiastic about the Korean wave? What are the traditions and true nature of the deep-rooted Eastern spiritual culture contained in the Korean wave? Today, we're going to examine the archetype of the Korean wave. A long time ago, there was a nation, Hwanguk, according to Samguk Yusa, a book that reveals the truth of ancient Korean history. True to this early ancient nation's name, Hwan, meaning radiance, all of its people lived in a peaceful golden era, with one mind, practicing self-cultivation and meditation. At that time, there existed a high-level spiritual culture that is hard to imagine, given today's sense of history. There was a mysterious text that everyone sang in order to find their true self. 81 characters that have been orally passed down from the Hwanguk era. This text is Chunbu-gyeong, the scripture of heavenly code. When we attain a proper understanding of Chunbu-gyeong, we realize that humanity are all siblings or one family. Can you believe that? All Eastern and Western religions, thought, and today's advanced scientific civilizations are contained in the principles of the numbers within Chunbu-gyeong? About 6,000 years ago, the descendants of Hwanguk moved east to Mount Baekdusan and established a country called Baedal, under the founding principle of fostering wide-reaching benefits for humanity. With the founding of their nation, the Baedal people's spirit teaching culture was established, and it still endures today. A culture in which people worship God the Father and their ancestors together. However, to all people, the phrase Eastern culture immediately evokes China or India. Above all, it is believed that Korean history is a mere 2,000 years old, and that Korea's own spirit culture is an imitation of China's Yellow River civilization. This era stems from the fact that China and Japan defamed and destroyed Korea's original history and spiritual culture to hide the truth that they inherited culture from ancient Korea. Have you heard of Jeungsando's teachings? Jeungsando following Eastern learning, and Bohwagyo, which were the deeply felt faiths of almost 10 million Koreans in the late 19th and the early 20th centuries, is leading the effort to restore the long-lost original history of humanity and to spread Koreans' original spirit and spiritual culture. The Jeungsando teachings that we will encounter today are not an old story. These teachings are a new story that you will hear for the first time in human history. Eastern Learning's declaration of a new era, serving the Lord of Heaven, and once again Gaebyeok. A momentous event that determined the flow of world history took place in Korea in the late 19th century, during an era when the East was inundated by Western imperialist powers. On the 5th day of the 4th lunar month in 1860, in Gyeongju, the capital of the former 1,000-year Shilla dynasty, a holy voice from heaven was suddenly heard by Chae Sun-un, who, like John, passionately prayed to save a populace in distress. Do not fear, and do not be alarmed. I am the one whom people called Sangjae. Why do you not know Sangjae? Sangjae-nim, the Father and the Lord of Heaven, appeared as a Holy Spirit and gave Chae Sun-un a heavenly mandate to declare a new era in humanity's history.
시천주 조화정 영세불망 만사지 직이금지 원희대가.
This vow by Jeungsando practitioners declares, serving the Lord of Heaven, who determines the destiny of the immortal paradise of creation transformation. I will never forget, throughout all eternity, His infinite grace of bestowing enlightenment into all matters. Shichunju, serving the Lord of Heaven. Sangje-nim, the Father and the Lord of Heaven, is coming in person to this world as a human being. Western civilization has brought affluence to human life, but destroyed humans' inner spirituality and the divinity of the natural world. Sangje-nim had seen these limitations of Western civilization, and now the light of saving humanity shines on the Eastern land. Sangje-nim, God the Holy Father, who sent numerous saints and Buddhas to the world, including Shakyamuni, Confucius, and Jesus, is coming to this Eastern land, Korea, to serve him. Eastern learning rose and proclaimed this amazing news. The fate of the mysterious disease spreading across the entire world. Is this not once again Gaebyuk? Once again, Gaebyuk. With the reversal in the order of heaven and earth, a new age and a new history will unfold. The age of the Father's direct rule will begin when God the Father rules the whole universe in person. This amazing proclamation by Eastern learning became the signal to open the door to modern history in the truest sense. The Korean government, fearful of the changes dawning in the new era, cracked down on Eastern learning practitioners, who numbered 3 million. In Ugumchi Pass, in Gongju, as many as 300,000 Eastern learning fighters cruelly fell victim to the brutal guns and swords of Japan, which had intervened in Korea's national affairs. Sangje-nim is coming down to this world, thus opening a new world. The central theme of the prayer that has been said passionately for 2,000 years is contained in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father in heaven, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Sangje-nim let Chae-seun proclaim that he would incarnate into the human world in person to build the later heaven's paradise of immortality, or heaven on earth, for the sake of realizing that prayer. The early heaven is ruled by the dynasty of mutual conflict and domination. The principle of mutual conflict and domination has governed all humanity and all existence, and so heaven and earth have never known a single moment free of war. Matteo Ricci assembled all the ancient divine sages, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, then ascended to the ninth heaven, and there entreated me to address the catastrophic plight of humans and spirits. I bestowed upon Chae-seun a heavenly mandate and spirit teaching to enable him to raise up my supreme Tao. Soon prepared in the Eastern land the path of life that leads to the Father, the Lord of Heaven, and declared that the era of serving the Lord of Heaven, who would incarnate as a human, would soon dawn. In 1871, I incarnated into the world myself. I am the Sangje, revealed in Donggyeong Daejeon and in Suun's lyrics. They say Jesus will come again, but these words actually signify my arrival. It is I who sent Confucius, Shakyamuni, and Jesus to the world to serve in my work. The proclamations by numerous saints and sages over thousands of years that the age of the Father would one day dawn was finally realized in the Eastern land, the Korean Peninsula. In 1871, Sangje-nim, the Father of the universe, eventually came to this land. He is actually the same being as the Messiah, so celebrated by existing religions, just with a different title. This is Sangje-nim, also the Maitreya and the Lord of Heaven, who incarnated as a human being. At a time when Christians numbered only 300,000 in Korea, about 7 million seekers of Tao, which was a third of the total Korean population in those days, gathered under the organizational name of Bohwa-gyo and worshiped Sangje-nim, the Father and Lord of Heaven, who had incarnated as a human. Bohwa-gyo was a top leader that provided astronomical financial support for the anti-Japanese movement, unfolding both inside and outside Korea. Bohwagyo was a mecca of the movement for Korean independence from Japanese colonial rule, which resulted in the birth of today's Republic of Korea. In 1922, Bohwagyo changed its name to Bocheongyo and established in Korea a nation of God to realize the dreams and ideas of Eastern learning and Western learning by reviving spirit teaching culture. Startled by Bocheongyo's declarations about Korea's national crisis, Imperial Japan dissolved Bocheongyo by oppressing it atrociously and harshly. The after effects of such oppression still endure today, to such an extent that Koreans do not acknowledge their own history and spiritual culture. Despite the hardships that raged like storms in modern history, Bocheongyo dreamed of a new world, and Bocheongyo's spirit was inherited by Jeungsando, which is the true Eastern learning that will complete the dreams of both Eastern learning and Western learning. Later Heaven's Autumn, Gaebyeok, is coming. Jeungsando is the truth of salvation that leads to the world of cosmic autumn after enabling one to overcome Gaebyeok. It is the path to the life of bearing fruit in cosmic autumn that was opened by Jeungsan-do. Jeungsando is the supreme Tao of the Father who, overcoming the boundaries of religions, presented a universal way of life for humanity at the time of cosmic autumn. Jeungsan-do, who ruled the cosmic order, bestowed teachings of new life that would allow humanity to leave the early heaven, which represented the totality of history, to that point, and enter the age of the later heaven, which will last 50,000 years. That grand project to save humanity is Chunji Gongsa, the work of renewing heaven and earth. The order of human history, of global civilization, and of nature will now enter the new world of the later heaven's paradise of immortality that will last 50,000 years, in accordance with the programs of Chunji Gongsa undertaken by Jeungsan-do. Just like the 4 seasons on Earth, there is a temporal order of 4 seasons in the universe. This is the grand cycle of a cosmic year, wherein humans and civilizations are born and raised. Now is the time of seasonal change in heaven and earth, when the early heavens culture of growth and division that has dominated cosmic spring and summer will change into the later heavens culture of maturation and unification in cosmic autumn. The period of turbulence and suffering that will occur at the crossroads of this momentous change, the era that will give birth to a new universe, a new history, and a new civilization, is the coming autumn Gaebyeok. What kind of a being is a human? What is the ultimate purpose of being born as a human? Where is the world heading? What should humanity do at this time when the universe is striving for maturation? No other saints and spiritual masters of the East and West could present clear answers. They had no idea that the cosmic grand change is coming, a momentous change in which the framework of human civilization will be fundamentally transformed, and that the true nature of that change is the coming of cosmic autumn. The conclusion of the awakening. Chant the Taeulju mantra. How can we find our true self and attain true awakening? Jeungsan-do taught us Taeulju mantra meditation, the most valuable gifts with which humans can seek out their true self.
훔치 태울천 상원군 훔리치야 도래 훔리함리 사파하.
When we chant the Taeulju mantra, the song of cosmic autumn granted by God, we can break free from ego at last and can leap into cosmic consciousness, that is, attain one mind. Taeulju mantra meditation enables humans to attain one mind with nature, thus being born again as true humans, who foster wide-reaching benefits for humanity. Taeulju mantra meditation is the lifeline that uncovers the root of one's life at the time of autumn Gaebyeok, the time when the cosmic order changes. Now, let us start our journey together to the world of the true Eastern learning, to Jeungsang-do's truth, to the world of genuine meditation and awakening, and to a new world of cosmic autumn, under the theme, A Cosmic Year and Taeulju Mantra Meditation.